Hey, welcome to Bears Banner. My name's Bernard Muhammad. Man, tonight we got a full show. We got Plank, we got Bakari, we got Quick, and we got Christian. Jay won't be able to make it tonight, and Guy gonna try to get in after he get out of his meeting. Man, we got a lot of stuff going on, man. A lot of stuff that had happened since the last time we've been on here. Hey, let's get rid of some of the easy stuff because I think once we get to Justin Fields, we're probably not going to be able to talk about anything else. So since the last time we talked, the Bears signed traded for Kenan Allen from the Chargers. He's a six-time Pro Bowler. They gave up a fourth-round pick. Let's go over his stats for last year. 2023 season, he had 108 catches for 1,243 yards. What's y'all thought on that signing? Well, at least trade.
Oh, I like it. I mean, you get an all-pro for a fourth-round draft choice. If we actually start looking at that, this entire draft that the Bears got from Carolina last year, man, that might be like Dallas Cowboys going 10 draft picks for Herschel Walker. That was fleecing. So we ended up getting Darnell Wright, Tyreek Stevenson from that. We got Mooney from that draft. We also ended up getting as a fourth round pick Keenan Allen. So man, this is talking about historical. We got to really have an idea of what we're actually looking at. I like what Ryan Poles is building. I'm looking forward to us the year coming up. So that's how I look at it.
Okay. Anybody else got any thoughts on Kenan Allen?
I love it because I'd rather have a vet, paired with a rookie, because you don't have to really figure it out, right? So he gonna do his job, and he's a quality receiver, and they can't just double team DJ, all day like they was doing with Justin. So I just think it's a good pick for a stint. We got to get somebody younger, but Post has added a lot of depth, and it seems we might be pairing up to be up like Kansas City or something. Build infrastructure first, and we might be okay. We'll see.
Okay. Hey, Christian, Mike, quick, y'all got any thoughts on Kenan Allen?
Well, I mean, he's a great rental. I mean, he's not going to be here when everything is all over said and done. So, I mean, we probably have him for this year. And they said that he's looking for a full-time contract, but, I mean, how long could that be? So, I mean, he's a great rental for right now and just see what everything else entails.
Okay.
I agree with Coach Mike. I mean, he's 31. The production is still there. It's just, are you going to want to pay him what he going to ask for if he have a good year? And that's the thing that I'm concerned about. He's 31, so then we know, receivers, running backs, they tend to decline after a certain year. So what's that dollar amount going to be and how long that contract going to be? That's the only thing. But other than that, I mean, I think it's good to pair him up with DJ and Cole.
Yeah, I think it's a good pairing. It is temporary, his age, and also I don't think you're going to probably pay him. But I think it's helping your quarterback that you're going to draft, whoever that is. And also, I think it was a move just in case the top three guys are gone. If you're looking at Marvin Harrison Jr., I'm just going to kind of throw this out there. Marvin Harrison Jr. may go to maybe the Cardinals and just say, I'm just throwing it out here, maybe the Chargers may pick up, just say Malik Neighbors, and say Atlanta, since they signed Kirk Cousins, they may pick up Rome Odunze.
New York.
Correct. Yeah, New York, correct. So it's possible those three, and I think this is where the Kenan Allen signing came. That's why for me, when I saw that move, I kind of more was convinced that they was on trade Justin Fields. Hey, we got DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift, 3 years, $24 million. Came from the Eagles. Matter of fact, man, we about to be
Detroit.
Right? Central
Eagles.
Detroit. from Detroit.
Well, we used to play him all the time, and he was good there, So I think, wow, like that's a pretty good upgrade, for the time being. That's a pretty good upgrade from nobody dislike Herbert or nothing, but he don't have a burst, he don't have that burst, that breakaway speed. And I think us getting used to Montgomery, you see Montgomery, and he always break a tackle. And he gonna get them that yak yards, and it's Herbert don't really do that. So I just think it's a big, decent upgrade. So I'm excited about that piece. That let me tell me that Poles trying to cook. Whatever he got, he trying to cook. Like, they got to make the playoffs. I think they got to. Or it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I think they running back. I think their running back room was just too injured for me last season. I mean, almost everybody got injured. Herbert got injured. Johnson had a concussion, and I think Deontay Foreman might have got hurt or whatever happened. They ended up putting him on,
injury reserve.
No, at the end of the season, it was just a healthy scratch the last 3 or 4 games.
Oh yeah, that's true, right?
Foreman.
Foreman, Foreman. So I think this is a great fit. Like I said, because Herbert number was just injured too much, And y'all got anything on that one? We can move to next.
This seems to be the largest investment that I've ever seen a Bears team put on offense. Usually we invest on defense and we go all out to be, monsters of the midway. I like what I'm seeing from an offensive standpoint, especially with that second tight end that they got. So now we can actually have 2 tight end sets. We got 2 wide receivers that are officially receivers, number 1 receivers. So, the second and third team receivers that we got, if nothing else, we got coaches on the field that can hopefully teach them how to play the wide receiver position and may end up yielding dividends from that. But, I haven't seen the Bears with this kind of investment ever in the offseason. And this is before we even get to the draft. So I'm actually following the same mantra as Mike Quick. Believe in the process, man. He's been saying that for 3 years now. So I'm starting to see what they got coming out of this.
Yeah. Hey, let me run these names right quick because I know we got a lot of people out there watching, and I know they want to comment. We're going to get to Justin Fields. So I'm just going to run the names down real quick of some of the people we picked up. We picked up Jonathan Owens at safety. I think it's 2 years, $47.5 million.
Simone Biles' husband?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's the only pick I don't like.
Yeah, no more Packers. We can skip.
No more Packers, right? We got Ryan Bates at offensive lineman. We just needed a body in camp right here. I think this is just a camp body. Brian Rippins, quarterback. Yeah, that's just an arm in camp. You got Matt Pryor. Plank just mentioned the tight end, Gerald Everett. We also picked up another safety from the Eagles, Kevin Bird. 2 years. Look like it's 2 years, $15 million. Hey, that if it's any, I think that may be all that we picked up. Anything else or any comments on any of those people before we get to Justin Fields?
Yeah,
we got a center too.
That center, yeah.
Oh, the center. What's his name? I missed him.
Something Coleman.
Oh, yeah, it sure was Coleman.
Yeah. I don't know his first name.
Yeah, the reason why I said I hate that Jonathan Owens pick. You said who?
I hope we take one in the draft, a center.
I do too.
Yeah, I hope we get one late. I mean, go down and trade down and get one in the draft. I don't care what.
Quick, what were you saying about the Jonathan Owens pick?
Man, I keep having a flashback of him trying to tackle CMC against the 49ers, where he just basically gave him an invitation to the end. I just keep having a flashback with that. I'm like, man, we could have. It'll get Simone Biles here. I mean, we had one more midget walking around the city, but that would be all right.
I don't like the backup quarterback room. I felt like I think they believe too much in
Tyson.
What's his name? Yeah, Tyson. Weak arm Tyson. I mean, it was some good backups. I mean, you could have brought in Ryan Tannehill.
I
You
think
knew
that
that he knew that he was going to get rid of Justin. So at that point, this ripping guy, he might be like what's his name, PJ Walker we had last year. Dude was terrible in the preseason. So they need
He
to
was
do
terrible
something
in the
else.
season too.
I don't think he's there for that. I think he's there to help with the offense, like translate the offense pretty much.
Yeah,
Caleb,
they
right?
need somebody experienced because you don't know what Tyson might be this year. You don't know. Like I'm not 100% comfortable with that quarterback room. You should have at least some vet in there to at least if Tyson struggle and a rookie get hurt, you got somebody in there that can come in and win a couple of games. That's my
Right.
opinion.
Tyson is that's crazy. He the elder in the
Yeah,
quarterback.
Yeah, he is.
He got the most NFL yards. All these college yards. Everybody's telling.
2-2 last year.
He sure was.
In the
He was 2-2
What do
last
we
year.
expect?
So
I ain't comfortable
6
with it.
interceptions in 4 games or something like that.
That's a lot.
I wasn't really
That's a
comfortable
lot.
with Brock. I wasn't comfortable with Brock Purdy taking over for Trey Lance either. You're exactly right.
Right.
He ain't.
I
Brock,
wasn't
coach.
comfortable with that.
That's totally
Huh?
different. He not Tyson.
It really isn't.
Brock. That's
it
not
really
the same.
isn't. When you
It's exactly
dude
the
almost
same.
didn't get drafted. What are you talking about? It's the same thing.
Right.
But
He
Purdy
didn't have no experience.
Purdy got drafted though. He made the last pick.
Yeah.
It's almost like get picked.
Tyson got the most.
Right. I'm saying he was
right?
one guy away from not getting drafted at all. And then now we talking about Trey Lance, who was a 3rd overall pick.
Right.
It's not much.
Trey Lance should never.
Yeah,
Trey Lance should never got drafted. You know that. And all I'm saying is Tyson Bagent 6 interceptions in 4 games. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Hey, Christian,
that's
when
concerning.
you go back, you look at the draft from the 21 season, 22 season, and summer 23, and you'll say a lot of these guys should have got drafted.
I agree.
Because it's only one guy that made it in each one of these drafts. In the first round, there's only one.
I'm not arguing against that. I agree with you. I'm just saying I don't believe in.
So they all suck. That's all I'm saying. That mean we can't pick who sucks. They all suck. What are you talking
That's
about?
why
they all
making.
Suck. They all
I agree
of them should
with
not
you.
have been drafted. No,
I'm
you
just
can't agree with me
saying
because we're saying 2 different things.
I'm saying that. No, I'm saying that I don't believe in Tyson Bagent. We need a vet in there. That's all I'm saying. I don't believe in him. That's it.
Yeah. So hey, now let's move to the main subject tonight. Justin Fields was traded to the Steelers. Actually, we have a comment from one of the Facebook users says, "Is this the Justin Fields support group?"
Yeah.
That's funny. That's a good question. Justin Fields was traded to the Steelers for a 6th round pick, and it's conditional on a 4th round pick if Justin Fields play 51% of the snaps this year, unless he gets hurt. When I say he, I mean Russell Wilson. That's not going to happen.
No,
because one is Russell stays relatively healthy. And in recent years, the only game I remember Russell missing because he was hurt was when he broke his thumb. And I want to say he came back in 3 games. And also, unless they was trying to, I want to say that part. Unless they were trying to see as Fields their next quarterback, I wouldn't play Fields just so I wouldn't have to give up the 4th round at some point, right? Because why would you play him if you're doing good with Russell and mess around and get him 51%? I'm talking about Fields, and then owe the Bears a 4th round pick. So Fields probably not playing.
I got a question. I wouldn't be surprised if they use Fields, period, in the red zone, period, because that just makes your offense explosive and dynamic. I would not using them like the Rams use. I mean, the Saints use that other guy. Not using them like that, but just the capabilities of Justin in the red zone somehow could make a very dynamic situation, because it's not like Justin is a rookie no more. He's a 4-year. He'll be a 4-year player. He'll be able to do some stuff if you need him to run some stuff. Even if that's because I see Tomlin. We saw Tomlin. If you really think about it, Tomlin made Michael Vick when he came out, he played well. Tomlin always get the best out of his players pretty much and have that non-losing season. So if anyone can get something out of Justin, I think they would want to see that because I can't see how Russ is the long-term answer for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, I just can't see it. Not that Russ is bad. I love Russ. I think Justin to me reminded me of a younger Russ. That's I always thought that he was more like Russ when he was kind of raw. Well, but he had way better coaching. But I just wonder, they got to find I think this year, see if they got anything in Justin, because they didn't have to take him if they wasn't trying to do anything with him. So why would you take him at all if you're not trying to see if he got anything for you? Where are you going to play him?
What's your thought on the trade, Plank?
Oh, first of all, I like that Justin Fields at least, they put him in a position where he can go to a team where he can probably do something. I think Justin Fields will play over 51% of the snaps this year. He's second string to Russell Wilson, who had the third best record, win-loss record in the NFL last year. Russell Wilson has been digressing every year for the last few years. So I don't know what we think we're seeing in Russell Wilson. And we're also looking at a guy that Denver paying him $38 million not to play for them. So you have to think about that. Russell Wilson, what he used to be, is not the same Russell Wilson that we're looking at today. I actually think Justin Fields will beat him out.
Okay. Hold on. Camera stuck. Yeah, in reference to this trade, I'm not surprised by this trade. Much as I like Justin Fields, I thought Justin Fields' improvement this year was very mediocre, in my opinion. I thought Justin Fields a very talented individual, seemed like a great human being. But when I watched him play the first 5 games this year, he had regressed this year from last year. And a lot of people had high expectations for him coming into this year. And I know somewhere around those first 5 games is when he said, I guess he was being overcoached or whatever it was. So he said he wanted to be himself. But what was still more alarming to me, I saw some improvement right in the middle, but I still kind of saw bad mechanics, sometimes still holding the ball too long. I did see him climb in the pocket, but I also thought he fumbled the ball too much. Justin Fields have had about 38 fumbles in 3 years. I think about 11 was recovered. That's a whole lot of times the ball leaving your hand. And quite a few of those were probably fumbles in the backfield that resulted in negative yards. But anyway, that's my feeling. Y'all got any feelings on the trade? I wanted to get into that,
I got feelings, but I'm going to let somebody else go. Y'all go.
All right, fine. I'll go. As far as Justin Fields, I like Justin Fields. I'm wearing a Justin Fields shirt. I'm a cheer for him. I'm going to continue to be a fan of his. But however, what he did for the Bears was not, what we're looking for a quarterback. Every time Justin Fields got the ball in the fourth quarter, he failed to mostly lead scoring drives. So he took too many sacks. He ended up looking like he was 100% uncomfortable. And this is 40 games into an NFL career, where many of these guys end up getting picked up and having to go in the game that same week, and they'll look more competent than what Justin Fields looked for the Bears this year. I like the guy. I think he's got some good physical attributes. Even more than that, I actually like who he is as a human being. He seems to be smart. He's respectful. However, as a football playing perspective, I don't trust him in the fourth quarter with the ball. And that's what it got to at the end of the year. So I can see why the Bears made a decision to move on from Justin Fields.
Okay. Yeah, I know Christian didn't like this trade. I know he's a Justin Fields fan. All us Justin Fields fans, we just may have a different perspective on how we viewed the season, but that doesn't mean we Justin Fields haters, And that's the kind of thing that I kind of didn't like that you did see in a lot of Facebook groups or whatever, where there was literally people sounding like they just hate Justin Fields' guts and they pretend they was Bears fans. And what you got, Christian?
I just feel like Poe knew that he was gonna trade him. He knew. you knew once the season was ended that you was gonna go in a different direction. So I just felt like he lost leverage in the trade. I mean, what did Sam Darnold get? What, a 3 and a 5?
You
Something
talking
like
about
that, right?
two
Um,
last year?
yeah, yeah. Didn't he get didn't they give like a 3 and a 5 for Sam Darnold? Something like that.
That sound about right.
Yeah, so I
You know
just
what?
feel
But once
like
that first person go though this year, it changed the value, right? Because
that's
that
why I
might have been the
said
value last year.
that's why I said like he knew at the end of the season that he was gonna go a different direction in quarterback. So that
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about like if you gonna trade him, then don't handicap yourself like you did, and
Mm-hmm.
now you gotta. It can go either way. You know what I'm saying? Justin can get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Preseason, we don't know, and if he get hurt in the preseason, all we got is a 6th round pick. Then if he go out and you know what I'm saying, he go out and ball somewhere else, then we like dang, kind of sort of just messed that up. I mean, it's a tough business. I mean, you want to do right by him, then you should have just did right by the team, and you knew that you was going to trade him right away, and don't let that thing drag out way too longer than what you did. That's the only thing that I have to say. Like I'm a Justin fan, but I'm okay with him not being here. I just felt like you knew at the end of the season, trade the man, start. You let that drag out too long. That's just
Yeah,
my thing. I think he could have got. I think we could at least got a 4th round pick for him. Because if you're trying to tell me Sam Darnold is worth a 3 and a 5, we can't get a 4 for Justin,
Gardner
or at
Minshew.
least a 5th, or at least a 5th round pick. You know, that's just my thing. I think that we got kind of lowballed with a 6th round pick.
yeah. So I mean, clear for some other people out there listening, so they won't be confused of what Christian is saying. You could not actually technically trade Justin Field as the season ended because the trade deadline has passed. So really, technically, this actually started the period where you really legally could actually what they call legally tampering, where you actually starting to talk about trade. So I understand what Christian meant, because technically you really could not trade him in January, February. No, I
No,
mean,
you couldn't. Yeah, I'm just saying once the new league year started, that he should have been the first quarterback to go, but he didn't do that. He let other guys go. Russell Wilson was cut first, right? He was the first one to cut and get signed, and then after that, it was Kirk Cousins. Justin should have been that 3rd one, but you didn't. You let Mac Jones, and once Mac Jones got that 6, it was doomsday then. So that's all I'm saying is you knew you shouldn't have been saying like, oh, if we decide, you should have just said like, hey, I'm open for business. And that way you would have kind of had a better opportunity. I just feel like Justin could have gotten more than what Sam Darnold got. That's all I'm saying.
okay. Hey, Shan Patterson said, I like Justin Fields. He just didn't have great decisions for the last quarter in the game.
Hey, Sharon, good point.
Hey, Shan, I think this is Mo Man said, Stiller ripped off the Bears. I guess that's where Justin wanted to go versus 3 other offers. So, hey, Mo Man, that's a great point. In
Yeah,
a Sports Illustrated article online, I think it was in Rappaport had reported that
it
the
was
Bears
16.
had about 6 offered. Those offers were presented to Justin Fields' agent. Justin Fields' agent turned down all those offers. That just feels, I mean, that just Poles trying to put him in a situation that he liked. Pittsburgh
Yep.
Steelers was the situation that Justin Fields wanted to go to. So that doesn't mean as a general manager he has to honor that. He could have just still traded him to the best
That's,
but I
that's what
guess
I'm saying.
he was trying
That's
to keep his
all I'm
word, I guess.
saying. But at the end of the day, we be talking about his business. Okay,
Yep.
that was bad business in my opinion. Just in my opinion. I just feel like he could have got more. Then you can't tell me that Sam Darnold tape is that much better than Justin Fields. That's
Yeah,
all I'm
No, but
saying.
but
it
that's
is,
from
but it
last year.
isn't
Yeah.
because what everybody what Pose did, what he did with a lot of the other players, is that what we fail to realize is that he said he wanted to do right by him, because believe me, they still got respect for Justin Fields and everything that he contributed to Chicago, and so that's why they presented him those offers. And like Nutty said, they didn't have to present him anything. We just take whatever. We could take whatever the best offer is and move, but they wanted to put him in a situation where they thought that he could succeed and where he wanted to go. I think that was the same thing, like I said years ago with Khalil Mack. Same thing they did with Roquan and some of the other players. And they just, I think sometimes when you think about feelings and things like that, it just doesn't, coordinate with compensation. Now, the other thing with Fields is that um, he wanted to go to the Steelers because what you guys were talking about comparing his game, he said himself that he compared his game to Russell Wilson, and he wanted to go where Russ was. I mean, so so sometimes putting that player in a good situation can handicap your team as well. But the thing of the matter is, Fields was out of here. And so, hey, we take a 6th-round pick or whatever. The end of the day, he was gone, and they just decided to do what he wanted them to do and trade them to a team that he wanted to be on, and potentially a playoff team. So, I mean, you got to tip your hat to both sides. That's it.
Yeah.
What you got, Plank?
No, I agree with Mike. And further to talking about Poles, he does not have to be a nice guy to trade these guys. He don't have to have them agree with them or none of that stuff. These are professional athletes. And part of what you understand as a professional athlete, you may not be, the team you start out with may not be the team you end up with at the end of the day. As a professional, if I lose my job today and there's another job that's going to pay me a commiserate amount and it's halfway around the country, I'll be happy if I can pick up that job. So as much as we want the guys to stay on the same team and stay in the city or whatever, that's not what's part of their contract. So I think Ryan Poles did everything he could to help out Roquan Smith, Robert Quinn, Darnell Mooney, Montgomery Fields. So we keep talking about all of these players that left the Bears. He tried to keep most of these guys. And a lot of times he kept them behind their positions where they were still being productive for the Bears. So I got nothing against Ryan Poles at all. And I actually see the vision of what he's doing. And I think he did the best he could for Justin Fields.
I'm worried about some guys. I'm worried about some. Mm-hmm. Y'all can tell me if I last time I was on this was some time ago, I predicted Eberflus was gonna stay. And then Gessie, because Gessie got to go. We were discussing why is Eberflus staying if they taking the number 1 pick. Now, this strategy, that's what I was saying before, to me seems similar to what Pace and Nagy tried to do when they took Foles and then they took Andy Dalton as the bridge quarterback, and then they took Justin. They tried to extend it out. And Nagy said Justin was never supposed to play. And then the Bears got in the middle of it, and Justin got rushed in, and then Justin looked bad. So now we have Eberflus. I'm not subscribing to Eberflus as the lame duck coach and all that kind of stuff. I think he was sold on the tank, and Poles had to sell him on the tank, and he bought the tank, and Poles delivered for him. But what I am confused about is if Gessie and everybody got let go, right? And then you go ahead and you see the deficiencies in Fields. You already got the number 1 pick, right? What's to make you think you can ride out another rookie rebuild and take the rebuild from 3 years to 6 or 4? Or 5. And like the CJ Stroud stuff is very rare, So I know the offense they kind of run, but I'm just saying that's very rare. What make you think that's the safer bet besides the business side of the cap or what have you? Because I started to see something kind of divergent of it, and people say it wasn't good, right? If I'm not saying that Justin was the end-all be-all, people feel a certain emotion. Why does the city, half the city or more, feel a certain way about Justin? Because we saw him take hit after hit. He bled for us. We never seen a player like that laid out. I mean, at the quarterback position, laid out like that in a long time, right? Yeah. He had to become a runner. It wasn't like Justin wasn't this running all day at Ohio State. He had to become it because of the deficiencies of their line, in that sense. He ran at Ohio State, but in his games, his bowl games, he was throwing all over the place, right? So I'm just trying to say is, if he was if he had to become something new just for us, I think people kind of bonded with that. But maybe you can tell me, what do you think Poles and them see in the risk of taking the young rookie to get to the playoffs, because I don't believe, I could be wrong, but I just don't believe the Chicago fans have this long temperament to give Caleb 2-3 years to develop if he don't come out hot right off the bat. Because Poe's done gone in now. So if he done gone in with what he got now, and Caleb coming into this way better situation, you guys tell me what does he got to cook now, or is Chicago supposed to stand up? Because I see Poe's in a very vulnerable position at this point with a 50-50 with a rookie, even with a better team. Because if he doesn't win playoffs or less, what they gonna say? They're gonna be blaming him for not developing Caleb.
Yeah, I don't think bringing in a new quarterback is a rebuild. I kind of disagree on that part. Whatever quarterback they drafting is coming in. I'm just gonna use Mahomes as an example. Not that any of the quarterbacks coming in gonna be like Mahomes. Mahomes landed in a situation, if I remember the record right, he landed in a 12-14 with Alex Smith coming off his best year.
He sat for a year though.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to make a point that when they got him, that didn't. He sat for a year, but when he played that year, he still played well. Deshaun Watson played good until he sat out for that when he wanted to be traded. So you can find examples of rookies or first-time playing players at quarterback that actually play good. Deshaun Watson actually played good that whole first year. He was a Pro Bowl his first year. I know this may not be a great example, but it's an example. Mac Jones, when he was drafted by New England Patriots, he was a Pro Bowler his first year. New England just ruined him once they lost the OC. Then they couldn't figure out who they wanted to run their offense, right? They was calling plays by committee and etc. So I think this is why they're trying to put an infrastructure in place where he actually has receivers. He actually has a tight end. He has a receiver and a tight end. Matter of fact, he had 3 people right now who have all produced 1,000-yard seasons. So I always say this about a rookie quarterback. A rookie quarterback should be able to have 3 or 4 good games out the gate because most teams don't have any tendencies on them. And you should come out. That was my concern about Justin Fields. I'm telling you, I liked him coming out the while, that he didn't have those good games in that first year until almost the Steelers game. Because normally those guys come out the gate, then teams figure them out, then they have the multiple turnover game. That's common in the NFL. The teams figure them out around 4 or 5, or game 4, or game 5. They have about three interceptions. We did not get that from Justin Fields. What we actually got, to me, is the first year. Let's throw it out. Dario was just ridiculous, because he wasn't supposed to play. Nagy wasn't supposed to play. I think Andy Dalton got hurt and he was forced into action. I think the second year, we got times where I didn't even see preseason games that look good with Justin Fields. That's telling to me because you should be able to have good preseason games because you're playing against vanilla defenses. I saw him a lot drifting in his throws, bad fundamentals, throwing off his back foot. I saw him holding the ball even when he's about to go on the ground. Dude, you're sacked. Let's take the sack and live. Throw the ball away. Those are things that, as athletic as he is and gifted as he is, those were the things that produce negative plays, taking too many sacks. Know when the play is over. And Plank said this all the time. Dude, you don't have to be Batman all the time. I'm like Bruce Wayne was a billionaire too, so it's all right to be Bruce Wayne. So right. I think those are the things that made you deficient on third down because why? You're taking negative plays that you shouldn't have to take. And I thought a lot of fans were being delusional when you heard Poles actually said, not Poles, Eberflus said, when they was at the combine, he said, we're looking for quarterbacks that were good on third down and good late in the games. Those are 2 things that Fields are not good at. Fields had over Fields has 54 total touchdowns. He has 41 turnovers. So we could talk all we want about if he don't have the pieces around him and et cetera, et cetera. Turnovers are the quarterback fault at the most part, unless it's a route that's ran wrong. 41 turnovers, 38 fumbles on the ground. I mean, what are we talking about?
You could back it up with stats. I see the stat piece of it, but I think Fields leap wasn't supposed to be this year. The year we just had. I don't believe it was this year. I think it was supposed to be this year coming up, because I'm just wondering, are these same excuses, could they come off as excuses when we talk about Justin Fields? Are we going to give the same endeavorance for Caleb as he grows, in Chicago as a player? Because I watched Caleb play. I watched both seasons, just to see what he plays, and I see college tendencies or what have you. I see backyard play. I see all types of stuff. But I'm not saying the guy's talented, but we're going to a smaller, little slower guy, and I just think that the expectation for Caleb is to be great out the gate. I'm going to root for Caleb. He a Bear. I'm a Bear fan, but I don't have the optimism that Caleb's just going to come in and just light it up and instantly be better than Justin Fields. Just like people thought Tyson Bagent was going to be better than Justin Fields, because Tyson has better pocket awareness. But after, he played more football than Justin actually. So he looked like it in the pocket. But when you talking about the next level arm strength and speed, it starts showing easily, as we discussed, 4 games, 6 picks. So I believe Caleb has better pocket awareness than Justin Fields. From the tape I saw, I see better pocket awareness, and he got an amazing arm. But those tendencies to go superstar or whatever, because Caleb didn't have such a great line last season, I think we're going to see it again, unless our new LC off the bat goes from what they run in zone air game. What was he running at USC? He was running that air tag, 2 read,
air raid.
I'm totally interested. What is Caleb gonna run? I want to know what they gonna come up with that Caleb can dot, because I don't see the patience in our fan base that these plays with, because I think it just pushes all back to post. If we lose like we lost those games at the beginning of last season, let's just say we go 2-4.
Yeah. Hey, when the Facebook users say, "Hey, let's the page is kind of unproductive." Okay.
Sorry.
Quick.
But Tyson did have a following for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, but hey, let me jump in here real quick. The bottom line of this situation is, man, that sometimes we don't want to hear it, but the NFL is a business, right? Justin Fields would have been owed $30 million next year. Now, if you guys really, I'm a Justin Fields fan because of what Brother Bakari said as far as his competitiveness, not so much as far as his production at quarterback, but he was a competitor. He was a true warrior here in Chicago. This the monsters of the Midway. We love blue collar things, but let's focus on the truth here. All right, there were some things I didn't believe that Andrew Jenico, whoever the quarterback coach, and Lou Getsy put him in the best possible situation. But now we're talking about time. And so I'm not a big Caleb Williams fan. I'll go on record and say that. But Justin Fields is owed $30 million after this. You didn't pick up a quarterback last year when you had the first round pick. You can't let lightning hit twice and not do something about it. I'm sorry. I mean, I was one of those guys. They not trading Justin. There's no way in hell they're going to trade Justin. They need to put some weapons around him, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, you know what? I don't know how many churches we can get together and pass the collection plate if we wanted Justin to stay and collect $30 million to send to the Bears to keep Justin Fields. Other than that, we're going to reset the rookie clock. We're going to take the guy who we think is the best pick at that choice, and we're going to move forward, and we're going to be Bears fans. They're going to I can't sit here and say, as a Bears fan, I want Caleb Williams to fail. That whoever they pick at the number 1 pick, I can't say that. I want whoever they pick. I don't care if it's me. If they call my 50-year-old butt back to play, you gotta support the guy. I'm not a big fan of Caleb Williams. I'm gonna say that again. But if you didn't go out to the churches and collect $30 million for Justin to stay here, then there's no dog in this fight.
I will.
Okay,
Go
but
ahead, Mike.
Then we come back.
Go
all right, I got 4 points to make. I know. Let me try to be quick with them. First, I'm not convinced that the Bears are going to pick Caleb Williams. We keep saying Caleb Williams like it's a foregone conclusion. I'm not convinced of that, so we'll have to see how that plays out. Number 2, fumbles. Fumbles are always the responsibility of the ball carrier. I don't care who fumbles the ball. That's the person that is responsible for that and accountable. I saw somebody wrote a message saying something like the center wasn't available and that's why he fumbled. No, the fumble is responsible. The ball carrier is responsible for the fumble. So if Justin Fields has 38 fumbles, that's on his record. Number 3, this is going to be controversial. Tyson Bagent did perform better than Justin Fields last year. He was 50% as a rookie. He won 2 games. He lost 2 games. That's a better record than what Justin Fields actually performed for us last year. Last point that I want to make. The main reason that Justin Fields is no longer a Chicago Bear is because of Jordan Love's performance from Green Bay. He sat for a number of years. He got to watch. They talked about how great Aaron Rodgers was. And as soon as they put this guy in here, everybody in Chicago started saying, he's way better than I thought he would have been. So when we start talking about Justin Fields not performing, start looking at what Jordan Love is. And that's how we expect the quarterback to be performing as he comes out of the gate. I'm done.
Okay. Hey, Plank, I saw somebody else who just put, hold on.
Okay.
It said hopefully, hopefully JD looks better than, hold on, let me put my glasses so I can read this right. Hopefully it's JD, he looks better than all of them. I'm not really a Caleb Williams fan either, quick. But if they draft them, I'm behind them. I'm always behind our players. I'm a Bears fan first. I'm not as big of a fan of the names on the back. When those names traded, I stay with the team. I may be upset or hurt about it, but I'm not quitting the team and I'm not burning up no jerseys, right? I'm just not.
I got my own jersey with my name on the back. I don't even do that. I had it before Justin, and he came here. I got number 1. I got so my heart been broke so much. I put my own name back there, man.
Looking at some of these comments, man. Some of y'all like are hell in a relationship.
I do like Jalen Daniels. I mean, my hope is that the Bears actually trade down. I'm just say 2 because of Washington. I hope the Bears trade down to 2 to Washington, and they draft Jalen Daniels. They get those picks, get back a 2nd round pick, pick up a offensive tackle or whatever, edge rusher. That's my hope. But it may end up being Caleb Williams. I got to go watch more tape on Caleb now. And I know Christian is supposed to do a quarterback show. Now we got to change the nature of the show. We had a show scheduled just to talk about all the quarterbacks in the draft coming up. It was supposed to be today, not yesterday, but now we got to change it. We just going to talk about them in relationship with the Bears.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I would like for them to trade down Jaden Daniels too. He played in a pro style offense. LSU does really, really good job of the last couple of years. The guys coming out being pro ready. So that's 1. And then 2, I agree with everybody else when it comes down to Justin Fields. Like for me, I feel like he's drafted into a bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have to hold him accountable as his fundamentals and the turnovers. So I will say that. And I just feel like last year with that rebuild, he didn't stand a chance. He didn't stand a chance. Mm-hmm. Now this year, I would have liked to see him have less turnovers. I would have liked to see him be a little bit more cleaner in the pocket. He wasn't. He did get better at the tail end. But like Coach Mike said, this was going to be based off of a financial thing. If there wasn't 6 quarterbacks coming out, that legitimately like have like first round grades, then we talking about a different conversation, and Justin probably would still be here. But you got 6 quarterbacks coming out. He had to, see what it is out here besides, hey, I'm gonna pay this dude this money and Justin to make no improvements, he gonna be fired. So I get it. I'm a Justin fans guy, all because of like Coach said, blue collar, and I just feel like, dang, dude was just brought into a terrible situation, and that is, and like Kari said, like that's my fear is like if Flus don't provide a winning culture, we starting this all over again. Now, Pose and like Coach Mike said, man was talking about it. Pose gonna be all right. He gonna be here for a while. Flus not. So now we got to get another guy here. So that's my only thing. So I hope they get it right. That's my thing. I don't care who it is. Just get it right. Because if you don't, now that's what 4 years, close to 8. We starting this all over again. So hopefully they get it right. That's all I'm saying.
So for quarterback performance, and I'm not trying to be the negative Betty tonight, but I'm just trying to bring out facts. For a quarterback bar, like Plank just said, Tyson Bagent won 2 games. The Bears only won 7. So I mean, Justin Fields played in 5 of the 13 games he played in. He only won 5 of the 13 played in. Okay, if you look at a replacement, what is the bar for that replacement? The bar to me for the replacement quarterback you draft is at a minimum to be better than Justin Fields is to win 5 games, 6 games. To be better than him, actually. Now, I know as a team, you need to win more than 5. You need to at least win 8 or more. As a quarterback, he only has to throw more than 16 touchdowns. That's the bar. He has to throw what Justin Fields had about 2,500 passing yards. He only has to throw more than that to be marginally better than Justin Fields. So the bar is not real high, and I'm not discounting the running touchdowns and all that and the running yards. I know he ran for another, almost 800 yards. But if it's Caleb Williams, he's a scrambler. He's going to have those yards. If it's Jaden Daniels, he's a scrambler. He's going to have those run yards. Matter of fact, we need to start looking at quarterbacks coming out the draft as scrambling and running is part of the job requirement now almost. I mean, what's the guy from San Diego? He actually could scramble. Not San Diego, the LA Chargers. Herbert could scramble. It's not like Justin Fields. Trevor Lawrence could scramble. I mean, all these quarterbacks now could move in the pocket, get your first down. Jared Goff could scoot up the field and get you 15 yards.
For me, it's just
you can get them if you're not looking.
I just want them to put whoever is going to be our quarterback in good situation. People keep talking about C.J. Stroud. They did C.J. Stroud really well there. They have a good way of scheming the same concepts and just giving you different personnel groupings, different looks. They do the same thing over and over again. So he has an opportunity to master these concepts. Just figure out a way to, whoever they pick, just figure out a way to find whatever that person's strength is and get him to do it. Because I'm sick of hearing all this, my system. It ain't working. Because college ain't setting none of these kids to come into the pros up nicely. They get here and they struggle because they don't do the same stuff in college. So when people keep talking about C.J. Stroud, okay, I'll advise everybody to go watch the tape and you'll see like, they do the same. You'll see like, they do the same thing. They do stuff to his strength.
That's why he throws so much anticipation. He throw with a lot of anticipation, C.J. Stroud, and people because he know exactly what's going to happen out of those concepts, and people just say, certain quarterbacks don't throw with it. CJ, they set him up great. Now, can he do it again? Hopefully he can, and they don't key in on that. But
that's why I want Jaden Daniels, because you see Jaden Daniels, he throws on time. He doesn't take too many sacks. He has that wiggle. That
he got a full read. He doing a full read.
He has that wiggle that what's dude from Ravens, L-Jack has. Like, you ain't never seen him take like any kind of major hits. I like his throwing motion. His throwing motion is real crisp, like CJ. I would take him before Caleb because I've not seen Caleb. I don't see him play on time. All that stuff that he does, it's nice to see. He is accurate, but I've never seen him throw the ball on time. That's concerning for me.
A lot of play. He does a lot of playground stuff.
Yeah, it's concerning to me because you've seen that with Zach Wilson when he was in where he come from, BYU, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is Pat Mahomes," but none of that stuff translated. And I'm sick of everybody always trying to compare people to another. Stop doing that.
That was Kingsbury that came up with that. He the one that said this Caleb play like Patrick Mahomes.
He got nice arm talent. He is very accurate. I will give him that. He does have playmaking ability, but I'm very concerned because a lot of things that I see him do, we've seen that with Justin. That's all I'm gonna say. That's my only analysis with that.
Hey, I'd like to thank everybody who tuned in tonight to Bears Banter Talk Show. Please hit the subscribe button. Hey, we need to get up to 800 subscribers and Bears Banter. Let me share one comment and we'll come to Plank. Did you have a comment?
No, I'll go for it.
Okay, we got a comment from, who's that, Christopher? Hey, thanks, Christopher, for all your comments tonight. Christopher Brown. He says all the Bears quarterback in the NFL were not all world in college. Brady, Mahomes, Breeze, and Marino. Hey, I agree.
Marino
that
Marino
did good.
Was that deal, yeah.
Marino just dropped because I think he had a marijuana possession charge, something.
That wasn't on the field. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's why
he was hanging with the brothers, man. He was he was he legit.
That's why I think that's why his I think that's why he was drafted a little bit low. I think it was something about possession of marijuana or something, and that was what the 80s. So they was like, because the 7 was the drug era, then the 80s the league tried to act like they was cleaning up the image, right? And so players like him fail. But I agree that those players. Hey, Plank, what did you say that you have something, Plank?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Well, actually, I did have something. Everybody's the NFL is still trying to do that copycat league stuff. Everybody's talking about getting offensive coordinators and getting an offense that runs the Shanahan offense. The funny thing about that, hasn't Shanahan already lost 3 Super Bowls? So just because you get this offense doesn't mean that it's going to translate into victory. So I just wanted to make that comment.
Well, they can't run. They can't run Kansas City offense. That's why they're gonna do shit. They can't run Kansas City offense. The one that's winning.
Well, you gotta get that number 15 from Kansas City to run that offense, and he'll win. So give me that offense and Patrick Mahomes, and we'll see what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Hey, say send that guy, right? Matter of fact, we don't even have to run the offense. Let's send us that guy.
Give him the ball, and we'll figure the rest of that stuff out. He had the worst receivers in the NFL last year, and it just showed that receivers and the offense and all that other stuff really wasn't that important. It's important who you have back there making those decisions.
Yeah. I disagree with that comment that person said. I feel like Joe Burrow, that quarterbacks, haven't dominated. Didn't dominate.
Oh, okay.
I'll just say one person's name, and that's Joe Burrow. He dominated. Go back and watch that boy balled out, okay? And that translated. That's all I can say is that translated. You look at Andrew Luck and Cam Newton, that translated. So it's just about getting, I would just say I like getting guys that come from that's playing against tough competition and that really, really like dominated the competition. And then I'll be like, okay, yeah, that's gonna be really nice in the NFL. Cause I haven't seen it go wrong.
Wasn't Joe Burrow the guy that left Ohio State because of Justin Fields? All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last year, you
can't go like Cam Newton. Cam Newton jumped on 12 people at the same time, and none of them even knocked his hat off.
Joe Burrow last year at LSU, he dominated. That's all I got.
He did.
You know, I'm
I just wanted
always,
to make sure that was the same guy we was talking about.
I'm always hearing there, trying to get the expertise out of Christian. I mean, I'm always hearing that, trying to get information from him. And I really have put a lot of time in recent years studying quarterback and talking about Joe Burrow. I was just watching the tape of him recently, and he was going through his storm motion. And he was talking about how he realized after he got in the NFL on his own, right? Not he didn't say the coaches. He said on his own. He realized if he twerked his hip a little bit more, it actually made his passes more accurate. You have to appreciate quarterbacks who figure out some of the stuff. So I know NFL is supposed to develop quarterbacks, but I argue unless you're sitting, you almost got to be coming in ready to play. You know, most situations because you come into bad teams and these coaches are on the clock and they'll be damned if they lose their job because of you. And they're ready to pull the plug on you as quick as possible. So if you come in a little bit behind the eight ball, I know Christian talk about these quarterback camps. These guys coming out better find the right quarterback coaches to help them. Sometimes I believe they're getting with the wrong guys who's teaching them the wrong thing, and they get to the NFL, that stuff ain't working. What you got, Christian?
And they do, like they'll get with private quarterback coaches, and then they'll get to camp, and then the OC or the coordinator change up everything that they work on in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Ed, I do agree about the weapons, but Joe Burrows was lighting it up before he got Chase. And I know he had T. Higgins there, but if you look at his first year, he played a couple of games and then he got hurt. He came back that next year. He was literally getting sacked more than anybody in the NFL, and that was not an excuse for him. He still, everybody who watched that Super Bowl knew that they probably was going to lose that Super Bowl because the protection was bad. But they still was in that game. What, he got sacked about 8 times in that game?
Yep.
Against the Rams, but he's still
he's an anomaly because can he stay healthy? You see what I'm saying? Because his lines always are suspect, you know. So it's like, can he stay healthy? Will his career last long because his lines haven't been that great?
Yeah, that's true.
But there's a lot of teams that have lines that aren't that great, and the quarterback still translates differently. Patrick Mahomes lost the Super Bowl because his line was probably the worst in the NFL. However, he still ended up showing well from his own performance. So,
no, I'm saying I'm talking about his actual health. Like he's been hurt a lot because he got a bad line. Not that, you know, they can't get around it. So Joe Burrow, he's been hurt a lot, right?
Yeah,
every team's not gonna have a great line. So at some point, everybody's not gonna have the best receivers, the best running backs, the best defense. It's not a perfect situation that every team has to have in order to win. It's as long as what they do best is better than the team they're playing against, that's what translates to win.
Yeah.
But where would we be at though at the sense of this? Like, okay, how many quarterbacks have we had now? Like 42 quarterbacks?
You can't go by the Bears. Come on, man.
We Bears fans. So all I got as a Bears fan is, out of this master plan, when will we actually develop a quarterback? When it's just convenient financially, or will we develop one when it's, you know, when it's not convenient and they just show a spark? When will we actually develop it? Because if we're not sitting one for 3 years and we just got them playing for 3 years, that's fine too. But I just don't get the dynamic. I just see Jordan Love developed, you know, and that I don't just see Jordan develop. I see his line developed. You know, they was like a top 8 line, you know. So I see like a lot of developments last season. In our division, if you look, am I mistaken? They all had really good lines last season. Am I wrong?
It sounds like what you're saying is these other teams built their team through the draft, which is what we're finally in the situation where we're doing. Ryan Pace before that always went free agent and went for 1 or 2 big stars and tried to patch up what he thought was going to take the Bears to win. Ryan Poles is finally putting us in a situation from the ground up to actually build a team that's going to last for years. So I think that's the better way to do it. It's not as sexy, but if we're really paying attention to what he's doing, we see that this is something that can probably withstand the test of time. I got confidence in it. I'm looking forward to it.
Sorry, I like what I'm seeing, and I agree with you saying, Bakari, about developing a quarterback. I have been launching this argument recently that I don't think the Bears actually have been trying to develop a quarterback until I'm gonna say Cade McNown was one of the first times that you can say the Bears was trying to. Now they got the draft pick wrong, but they drafted earlier. Because if you look at the previous Bears team, the Bears operated on this philosophy, and they really have been operating on the same philosophy since 1986. Great defense, run the ball, special teams, don't turn the ball over, just game managed, and we can win. So they got quarterbacks with Cade McNown was supposed to be the most NFL-ready quarterback, right? So that means they already approaching it like they don't have to develop him, right? Because you remember they kept saying he's the most NFL-ready quarterback in this draft. Then you got with Rex, I think after that was Rex Grossman, and then I didn't really think Rex was going to be a good, but they kept trying to convince you Rex was the quarterback. I think they got Kyle Orton like right after Rex or somewhere in there, but he was a lower round pick. They got Jay Cutler is when, like what Plank's saying. So now you're trying to patch it up with somebody else quarterback. And at that point, you still had all your money on the defense, but you're giving up multiple picks to get that quarterback, but you really don't have no receiver. The O-line was getting old. You really didn't have an OC because you really were just trying to just run the ball. And then you go through this whole thing. And then if you go fast forward, Jay stayed a long time. When you get Mint, you actually did the same thing you did with Cutler, other than you draft them. You gave up multiple picks for a player. Almost all your money is on defense. And then what you did when you pushed all your cards in the table, you actually pushed all your cards in on the defensive side. You turn around if you gave up a lot of picks to get Khalil Mack for defense. You really didn't push in the cards for offensive players. And you went at it thinking you just gonna win it on defense. And to me, this is the first time that people may not like it. They may think it's like musical chairs, but to me, it's the first time I'm seeing a Bears general manager saying, "We're gonna win too because of our offense, and this is not acceptable. And we're not going to play mediocre football on the offense. We need some guys. We need a line. We fired the OC because that wasn't good enough." You wouldn't. We can't hear you, Christian.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I just hope that we got the right head coach. For me, I look at the system and the culture. So let's just use Green Bay. Matt LaFleur seems to be pretty good at what he does. So they've had really, good culture there, and they develop their players. I just hope that Flus is that dude to do it, because I would hate to see us draft this young kid and then he doesn't do what he's supposed to do as far as Flus win and get us into the playoffs, and then now we start over. We shouldn't be a 500 team. We should be in the playoffs next year. So that's my only thing is okay, do we have the culture and the coach to do it? I don't care. He can be a defensive coach. He can be offense coach, special team coach. I don't care. I'm just like, I don't want us to be a 500 team and then now we saying, oh, Flus is the guy to develop. No, I preferably thought that, hey, they should have fired him, and they should have. If you're gonna bring in a new quarterback, then do it with a coach who you know that's gonna be here for a good while. If Flus lose, I'm nervous about that, because you don't know who this new guy gonna come in here, and we've only hired one coach that had prior experience.
Yeah,
that's concerning to me. That's the only thing that I'm concerned about, is that I look around the league and I see, a rookie coach, and they apparently got that right, and they matched him up with a good rookie quarterback, and it worked in harmony. That's my only thing that I can say. I'm just a little concerned about.
Yeah. Thomas Johnson, the Bears have never developed a quarterback, in my opinion. As far as you saying, develop them, draft them, and they've never draft. I mean, it's a bunch of teams in the NFL that actually fits that same boat. Believe it or not, there's a lot of teams. I mean, we could just use the Jets. I mean, you go back to Joe Namath. Joe Namath is overrated, but you got a few quarterbacks. It's not too many quarterbacks in their history. Cleveland. It's not too many quarterbacks in their history. It's a lot of teams you could.
Well, you're not talking good about Vinny Testaverde.
He with the Jets and the Browns.
Right.
Hey, Joe Namath had more women than touchdowns.
Yeah, for real.
Man, don't talk about my Vinny Testaverde, baby boy. That way he was nice on a Sunday night when you needed to win.
Awesome.
Man, that
Chad Pennington had what, 1 or 2 good years. Then his
Yeah,
arm was
he was
shot.
injured. Yeah, he had injury issues though. Arm
because
issues,
he's doing all
real
them bombs
bad.
to Moss in college.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Marshall, he was throwing all those. Yeah.
I killed some Super Tecmo with some Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah, you couldn't win on Madden with him though.
Nah.
Hey, do y'all got anything tonight? I know we done got to about an hour.
I want to say something. I just want to say this last thing. I want, I deal in data, right? So I've been looking at the data, the search data and stuff like that. And Justin Fields' search data is really, really, really high. And it seems like probably really over half the city or Chicago alone is talking about this a little or whatever. And we don't have a lot of closure. Getting closure is like talking it out, right? A lot of these things, even Bernard said, are true about Justin and all those things. So I just would like to have Justin. Justin sent us an email or a tweet or something to say goodbye, So I think everybody should. They don't have to do this, but everybody should just, if you have a Justin Field jersey on Friday, rock your Justin Field jersey. And just I would like to see Justin. Huh?
What is that? His funeral?
No. I just want to send him off. I want to send him off right because I have this fear. I have a fear. Mike Tomlin gets the best. I have a fear Justin is going to go perform very well someplace else, and he just was beloved. He was just beloved, and he was beloved for many different reasons, And people, we were critical on him when he had to be in vice versa, but he was beloved. And people haven't figured out why was he so beloved if he was so bad. And one thing, I think he earned that, and everybody don't identify. So I think I identified the factor, and I'm gonna share it. What I identified is many people through their regular jobs have worked jobs and didn't have that much support and built it up for somebody else sometimes to take it over that they thought was better for it, right? And they put they all in, and the people around you think everything is going good, and you think it's your turn because now they're bringing in the new infrastructure and the stuff you need to shine. And because maybe your age, maybe your price, maybe your color, maybe whatever your sex, you don't get that opportunity to come in at that bright star, right? So I think a lot of people just attach themselves because we all agree on one thing. He wasn't, didn't have the stuff around him to support him as a rookie. So if that's the case, it's just kind of cool that he knows that. So I'm proclaiming on my own, on my stump, just me, nobody else, giving him, a Justin Fields day where I'm going to rock, my jersey, which I occasionally do anyway. I would like it to be Friday. And I hope everybody just try it, and shoot it out. And just because of that, because something's going to happen in Pittsburgh and it's going to be magical. It's going to be magical. And I don't want to look back on that because I'm actually a Pittsburgh fan too, because I'm a Tomlin fan. But I want to look back on that and just Justin to know that, yeah, it is business. But I'm not one of them people just going to say stuff is just business when I didn't treat you right.
Yeah,
and I think that's the kind of man Poles was in the end. Poles said, it was business, but he took the hit. He could do it. And he said, that's on me. He didn't do what was totally right for the Bears. He said, forget it. I'm going to do what you want to do, Justin. And he did that. I don't think he did it just because Justin a good dude. I think he did it because Justin laid it out for us, and that's the first time we've seen it that way. Not that other players haven't, of course, But I'm just saying that's the first time he was like that because he kind of grew on us in a short amount of time, So that's all I'm saying.
I like Justin Fields, and I do wish Justin Fields success. No, do I wish Justin Fields beating the Bears if the Bears play him? No, I do not. I do not wish that.
No.
I mean, I'm saying I've heard people or seen people write that.
What?
that they want Justin Fields to come back and put it on.
Well, Mitch did it. Mitch came back in the preseason, lit us up.
right. But
preseason.
Yeah, I wish him success. I would love to see him have success, but I want the Bears to get the quarterback position right. That's my goal. I just like to see them get it right, and this move indicate that they think they're gonna get it right, and I hope they do because I don't want to watch another season of just horrible quarterback play from the Chicago Bears, and then we have all these if we shoulda, coulda, woulda, we would have won 4 more, 5 more games, right? I'm tired of talking about that, Anybody else got something?
Yeah, for me, no excuses. Get it right. No excuses. I don't want to see no 8-8. I don't want to see no 500 record. I don't want us winning 5 games. No excuses. I promise you, I retire as a Bear fan. No excuses. No excuses. No excuses. You got to get it right. You got to get it right. You made all these moves.
I'm with it.
You made all these moves. You said that you got your core players in position. Get it right. That's all. I don't care. Get it right. I don't care if you feel like it is Bo Nix. He better come here and he better ball out or Parky, whoever. That person better come in and we better win 10 games. I don't care how we do it. But we need to make playoffs.
I'm a little bit lower. We got to make the playoffs. Yeah. I don't care how many games we win. We got to make the playoffs with this team. This is the best team we done had in a long time on paper. We don't know how they work together.
It's a failure to me if we don't.
You're right.
That's how I look at it. It's a failure because you did what you did last year to set us up. You did what you did this year, and you saying, okay, this is it. This is the last piece of the rebuild. Get it right. That's all I got to say about it. I love Justin. I wish him well, but I'm embracing whoever's going to come in here. Make sure this dude come in here ready to do his job, ball out, get it right. I promise you, I'll retire.
I agree.
Perfection.
Because the Bears defense, I know you can't predict turnovers, but the Bears defense had a stretch last year where they was getting 4 and 5 turnovers a game, interceptions and fumbles. And you know what? Yeah. When you look at those games, it resulted in very little offensive production in those games. They was even giving short fields in some of those turnovers where it resulted in negative yards that they ended up being back further than they were from the time they got the turnover, which is kind of like, wow, that's crazy. But if they're able to get that same type of turnovers, you can't predict them, but I'm hoping that this team could capitalize on those things and you will have a competent coordinator who understand what the offense needs to do, and we're not sitting up here trying to figure out, like, on 3rd and short, we running 3 receivers wide and all you need is 1 yard.
Never heard of a slant.
Right.
Never heard of it. No. Yeah. And we got to beat the Packers 1 game. I ain't even trying to get the sweep with it. You got to get 1. You got to get 1.
You got to.
We got a pack on that team. They probably spying, so I need 1 game.
Something too, guys, it's going to be pressure because you got the number 1 pick. Yeah. You got all this stuff going on. You told us that Waldron is going to come in here and have us in top 10, top 15 offense. I'm telling y'all, I don't want to hear no excuses. I'm telling you, I'm for real because I don't care about no pressure. I don't care about none of that.
I bet really Kevin Warren saying that to him too. I bet Kevin's saying that too because he just hit the build a stadium. So I bet he's like, yeah this is it.
Hey, also I want to know before we close tomorrow on this same platform, I have some guys who actually has a Pittsburgh Steelers podcast, so they're going to be on tomorrow talking about the acquisition of Justin Fields. The name of that show is Chalk and Baba. So you could tune in to the same platform, and they're going to be talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers acquisition of Justin Fields. So tune in to them. And hey, and Baba GD said, Plank, y'all need to have a first take. You and him going back and forth about Mike Tomlin.
Okay, bring it. I want all the smoke.
Hey, thank you everybody who tuned in tonight to Bears Banter Talk Show, man. And we got a lot to talk about. And Christian, let's nail down that date. Talk about the quarterbacks. Maybe we try to get it in by the end of the week. All right.
All right.
Okay. Hey, thank you everybody. Peace.